called a weight transfer sled. The name perfectly describes its form and function.
Just like the tractors themselves, the tractor pulling sled has evolved into a very complex piece of machinery, but the principle on how it operates is exactly the same. As the box moves forward from the rear of the machine to the front, it transfers not only the weight that's in the box, but the entire weight of the machine itself from the wheels, from the rolling resistance to the pan. As the weight on the pan increases, the friction between the pan and the ground overcomes either traction or horsepower, whatever the tractors run out of first. And of course, in any tractor pull, the man that pulls the machine farthest down the track is the winner.
The pulling track itself is the third critical element, and in some settings, the track can be quite an undertaking.
I'm with Mike Snyder, TNT Redman track official. And Mike, we've talked about the 4, 5, 6-engine dragster tractors and all those different classes with tractor and truck pulling. We've talked about the weight transfer machine, but we've neglected to talk about what they pull on, and that's dirt. What kind of dirt are we talking about for a good pulling track like we have here at Bowling Green?
Well, Dave, the track is one of the most important factors in the pull, and you want a good clay type soil. Something that when you get it wet will stick together, bind together. It'll give not only the tractors good traction, it gives the pan on the sled good adhesion to the track. It makes the tractors fairly easy to stop, believe it or not, even though they're getting a good bite in the track.
Now, do we want any sand or loam in the clay?
No, if you get sand or that type of material in the track, well, we've been out east and down in Florida, and we've been on those type of tracks, and we really have to adapt to them because the material doesn't stick together. They just don't get the bite that they need. And on a loose material, the pan slides fairly easy, so it makes the tractors, once they get moving, it makes them harder to stop.
All right, do the pullers like to pull on good clay?
Yeah, they sure do, Dave. You'll never hear too many complaints out of the pullers when they're on a power track or if they tear their equipment up because there's too much of a bite. But if they can't get a hold of the track and not put on a good show, they don't like that.
Thanks, Mike. We've got a biting track here at the National Tractor Pulling Championships in Bowling Green.
High-tech plays another important role in pulling with the use of laser beam measuring of the distance each puller's vehicle moves the sled.
For over 25 years, the standard method for measuring tractor and truck pull results has been the rope and tape measure method. But now the latest thing in professional tractor pulling is what we call the laser measuring device. And with us is the laser measuring expert of tractor and truck pulling, Bob Hawk. Bob, we think of a laser beam, we think of a red beam shooting out of a machine that does all kinds of crazy things on television. How's a laser beam used in measuring tractor and truck pulls?
Well, it's an infrared ruby red laser that is used in the use of surveying equipment. And this is a semi-automatic computerized laser device that we have here that gives us a readout at the announcer stand on closed circuit television. And it is a very fast, efficient, and practical way to measure tractor pulls.
Now, how accurate is it?
It's accurate within 1/100th of an inch at 5 miles.
You say it's accurate within 5 miles, but what kind of a device do you use to sight in? And where do you sight in on the track?
We have a target mounted somewhere on the sled, someplace between the pan area, about 9 feet above the pan, to the rear of the sled, whatever is convenient for the sled operator to be out of his range so it don't interfere with his observation of the track. And we read this into the computer before the event starts. This gives us a target offset, so we have that permanently in the computer for that track and that vehicle on that track.
Okay, and how fast is it over the old method of measuring?
We can get a measurement generally within 18 to 24 seconds and have the distance at the announcer after the sled stops.
So it accomplishes a couple of things. One, it's a lot more accurate. I presume we don't have any more ties in pulling. And secondly, it's a lot faster.
That's correct. It eliminates ties and it speeds up the contest.
On a double track pull, does that help a lot?
Oh yes, definitely. It gets rid of a lot of manpower that would be on the road to maintain the track.
The laser measuring device. Professional electronics have come to tractor and truck pulling.
The laser operator, along with the technical inspectors, starter, flagman, and track judge, make up the team of TNT track officials who run the actual pulling competition. Professional pullers in the Redman TNT All-American Pulling Series compete with 7 different types of vehicles: super stock 4-wheel drive trucks, modified 4-wheel drive trucks, super modified 2-wheel drive trucks, pro stock tractors, super stock tractors, mini rod tractors, and the big multiple engine modified tractors. They compete in the Redman TNT Series year-round all over the country. Indoors in arenas, coliseums, and dome stadiums. Outdoors everywhere from the countryside to fairgrounds and speedways to major league ballparks. Now, let's take a closer look at the competition with the ESPN television series Power Tracks.
Welcome to Red Dirt Country, the fertile farmlands of the Shenandoah Valley. They've come from everywhere today to the Augusta Expoland, Fishersville, Virginia. The biggest army of modifieds you'll ever see, here to battle it out in the Super Bowl of 4x4 competition.
Starting things off here today, it'll be Carl Staples out of Moyock, North Carolina with Risky Business. For the best in pulling, this is the place in America this weekend. Fishersville, Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley, Augusta Expo Land. Carl Staples, one of the best pullers from North Carolina. Jim Lyons from Louisville, Kentucky, builds the engines. Carl Staples, Risky Business.
270 feet 5 inches. Not a bad run for Carl Staples.
Here comes Larry Frame from Fredonia, New York with Master Blaster. Frame trucking now. Larry Frame in the driver's seat. Puts it in gear, checking out the brakes in there. Here we go now. He's on television. He'll pull up to a tight hitch. The distance to beat, 270 feet and 5 inches. 270 and 5 is the distance to beat. This is going to be close for the lead. This is going to be close for the lead.
Larry's taken the lead with a distance of 276 feet 5 inches. Next up, a veteran driver who's been making a very strong comeback this year.
Jerry Weaver, sponsored by Nationwide Auto Parts out of Columbus, Ohio. Also by Kendall Motor Oil. Jerry Weaver, who has pulled four-wheel drive trucks for quite a few years. And then he dropped out for a couple of years. Now he has come back strong with a major sponsorship. Jerry Weaver. Oh, no. Oh, no, they're going to check the kill switch right away. That'll be the first thing they check. They will check the kill switch.
The kill switch doesn't appear to be thrown. It's going to take a while to find out what went wrong on this one.
Long ways to go for some bad luck. We've had a pretty good weekend. Thanks to Nationwide, you know, they give me a lot of sponsorship money and Kendall Oil, and we've had a real good weekend. And this is just unexpected. I don't know what's going on.
All right, here comes Little Hillbilly, Red Grogan from Clinton, Kentucky. Four-wheel drive competition, your leader right now, Larry Frame out of New York at 276 and 5. Easy does it coming up on the super stock track from Taneytown, Maryland. Here's the Hillbilly. A beautiful looking Ford. Ford fans, are you ready to take the lead? Let's go Ford, F-O-R-D.